CEO Isaiah. This is my first chart video, but yeah, I'm about to drop some sauce. How to get US30 around. Let's see how much is it. Oh, almost 300 points. I mean, shit, I predicted around 230, 240, but I mean, shit, fuck it, clickbait. I don't give a shit. This shit works, you know. Big moves, no small. We don't do no 30 point moves. We don't do that. So pretty much the way you do it is, so right here, this box, like this little box is pretty much New York session open. So you need to trade New York session to be getting these type of moves. You know, New York session is where shit gets cracking. I mean, I use London and Asia for predicting where my trades are gonna go, but the way I predicted this shit was, I'm gonna go into a lower time frame. Here's how I'm about to break this shit down for you. So this is New York, right here, this box. So as you can see, I woke up. I'm get rid of this. So I woke up and I saw this consolidation. So I trade based off of liquidity, because if you know what I'm talking about, you know that there's no guessing game. That's how the market moves, liquidity. So from here, what do I see? Equal highs, you know, equal highs around here, you know, retail support. So I mark that shit off. You know, there's liquidity on both sides. This was just for extra. I mean, I advise you guys do this shit. Mark the lows and highs of every single day. So this was Monday's low, and this was last New York session right here. This was New York session. This new box, this new rectangle was New York session. This is Monday's low. Typically, price, especially when finishing off with New York session, moves like this. It either moves from here, here, or here, here. Check this shit out. Gonna go back to 15-minute time frame. So like I said, don't forget the rubric. It goes here, here, here. Makes like a triangle almost. Or it's reversed, here, here, here. Sometimes, hey, but you know what? I'm not even gonna lie to you. Sometimes it just fuck it. Sometimes it just shoots in one direction. But there's always a correction, you know. But most of the time, I'd say most of the time, it happens something along the lines like this. So if we pay attention, what did we see? We saw New York session, my pivot point time, New York open, manipulation obviously, and it went down, you know, and it pretty much made like a triangle. It made the same shape, you know, that I have over here. Boom, boom, boom. Shit. It's the Zay-Bands method. The niggas in Yacht Club know about this, but you know, I'm gonna briefly go over it. Look, right here is New York session. Right here is New York session. And this is a little pivot point that I figured out. I mean, I could share my pivot points, but this was New York open. So I woke up, that London set a low, and you know, London set a low. Okay, it went higher just for, you know, New York session, just to take it out. So you're probably like, how the fuck do you get 300 points? How does this work to get 300 points? You know, how the fuck does this work? Well, you take New York session and you trade it down to London, you know, but there's liquidity right here, and there's honestly liquidity sitting around here, because this was last New York session. Point is, mark up New York sessions and trade from New York sessions, because as you can see, this price went in the rubric's direction. It just made a triangle. Shit happens. It just happens like this. And if you notice, this shit perfectly aligned. This little box right here, perfectly aligned with a perfect TP. I mean, I got out at 172 because I saw, you know, see this like bullshit pullback shit. I wasn't really fucking with it, so I got out right here. But if you have patience you can definitely just, I mean, most of the time I like to trade it down to the last one. I always do this shit, but I wasn't really feeling it this day because, I mean, you know, I didn't like the look of this shit. It looked like bullshit. It was kind of pulling back and it was going down, so I exited right here. Most of the time this shit trades right back over here, and you could have just caught, you know, 314 points, the 300 points that I was talking about. Feel me? This one was today's. I got out, I traded it back. I mean, it just helps that it's Monday's low because these usually get taken out. But I traded it back to the last New York session. Bro, the market, as soon as you start realizing this shit, bro, the market is not fucking random, bro. Like, there's a certain way that shit moves. Whether it be like this, or it be like this. Bro, this shit is not random. Like, most of the time these type of shapes form and I capitalize off of them. So we're gonna go everything just once more in case I fucked up. But yeah, ignore my checklist. This is something, but I mean, this is pretty smart too. You should do this shit too for trading. Okay, so how to get the 300 point moves in US30 every single day. Trade New York session. Mark previous London low. Mark previous New York session. Trade current New York session to previous session. Like, sometimes this shit is, instead of this, boom boom boom, it's this, boom boom boom. Feel me? So we're gonna go back, you know, we're gonna keep going back. Okay, perfect. We can already see this shit fucking works. So you can see what the fuck happened, you know? Boom 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 boom. Look at these fucking moves, bro. This and the added ability to fucking trade liquidity. If you learn that shit, honestly, I'll do some videos on liquidity, but for now, look at this. These boxes right here, these are all these are different pivot points in different sessions. This is fucking New York session right over here. This whole entire area is like New York session, this box. So what do? Let's look for the last New York session. Okay, over here. This was the last New York session. Last New York session. Okay, so we mark it up. Last New York session. I still remember trading this day. I had this shit marked up. I already had my previous rectangle, but these ones are orange. This was the last New York session. I had it marked up. So I was guessing, okay, it's probably going to be at least, I was thinking somewhere around safe. You see how this perfectly aligns under here, but at least a 400 point move. I was right here taking longs because I already had this low pivot point marked up. I was like, okay, it's creating my rubric, you know, it's creating my path. Never forget that. It's creating my path. So look, I traded this and I just knew, okay, you trade from session to session, New York session to New York session. So I just knew that this was going to be a big ass move. I got out somewhere around here, but still, I remember predicting, okay, this shit is about to go crazy. Like, this shit's going to be a 400 point move. It's going to trade all the way up to this previous New York session. And that's just what it was, you know? With this shit, it goes stupid every single time. So I marked up previous New York. London set a low. So I already drew my shit. Boom, boom. So I already drew this path first. So I was expecting a bullish New York session. And guess what? If it's bullish, it already goes in confluence with trading to the last New York session. So that's how I can predict a 400 point move for US30. New York session to New York session. Let's see. Okay. I could already see it. We'll find another one already. I just marked off this one. I already see another one. So this was New York session right here. London, New York to next New York. So this right here, this box is a next New York. Sometimes, bruh, it doesn't always play out the first session. I mean, I was anticipating a bullish New York session to eventually reach these tops, but there's an easy fix. Okay, just go with what you see. I saw resistance around here, sold, and I took profit at this London pivot point because they all trade to each other. I mean, if you look closely, they all trade to each other. So look, this honestly made a triangle in itself. So sometimes it doesn't always happen. I thought it was going to make a 400 point move up here. It didn't. It was showing bearish signs, but you know, like I always have, you know, I always have my checklist. Have a checklist. Market structure, trend, imbalance, liquidity, IT candle, 4 hour, 1 hour, 30 minute, 15 minute, entry, 1 minute, 5 minute. I have my shit down packed, so I'm prepared for situations like this. So this comes along with market structure. This comes along with being able to tell market structure. This was just a break and a retest type of thing. But I still ate, you know, I still ate a little 124 pips, but hey, guess who was right in the end? Me, bitch. I knew it was going to happen, right? I knew that the move was going to happen. It's just a matter of, is it this session? Is it this New York oncoming session? And it wasn't, you know, but most of the time it is, because you saw that today. It creates a triangle shape. It creates a triangle shape. These traded just to the last, you know, New York session. And this was today. I knew it was going to make a big ass 300 point move. You can predict how big the move is going to be. You can dead ass, I'd say 80%, 90% of the time predict how big the move is going to be. I mean, very rarely, in cases like that one I showed you where it wasn't as perfect, it just didn't even happen that session, but it happened like at a pivot point that I marked out, it still made its 400 points. The banks need to make price move. It still made its move. It's just, you know, I didn't catch it at the perfect New York time. It just didn't happen. It's okay. But point is, this shit happens every day. Trade session to session. Just follow these steps, and I might go in depth some other time, but this shit is pretty much the gist. So go get some bread, see what you can do with this. Peace.